So we've added a lot of new features to our PGA offering. I want to go through some of the stuff that we now have here. It's really exciting. You can build lineups super easy and quick, starting with Quick Pick. So we have this available for other sports, and now it's available for golf, and it's got all the metrics that you want to be able to find the best golfers for the DraftKings tournament. So for the Wells Fargo, we definitely want to start with just who's been making the cut this year. That's a great stat to kind of keep tabs on who's been just playing well, and you want golfers that make the cut, whether you're in a cash game or a tournament. So we'll start there. That's already cut up a majority of the field and put it at 70%. And then I like to factor in the Vegas odds a little bit. I like to think they have a little bit of idea what they're talking about. And right there, we've already brought down the pool to 13 golfers. Some of the top players that have a lot of green indicators all across the board. So they've been winning tournaments, they've been placing in top tens, they have a high floor. You can see Dustin Johnson and Jon Rahm. Both of these guys I think you're going to want to have in your player pool. And then all down the line, I think there's a lot of these golfers have a lot going for them, and their salary dictates that. So what I like to do is kind of just favorite a bunch of these players. And let's also make sure that we get the low price point and just see what kind of lineups are getting spit out from here. I'll go ahead and add Kisner. I like him. Also, now if you're building for a cash game, you can filter by consistency also. So you definitely want to have the more consistent golfers. For a tournament, maybe you want to go a little different with some of your picks, and some of the less consistent players have a better chance of making the cut and potentially winning the tournament. So once we do that, we can kind of see what's been showing up. And from there, we'll go and check out trending, see if I'm missing any players, and then this will be available on Wednesday morning. So we'll check back here to be able to do that. Last thing is there's other ways to check out players. We have the best recent form. So we got most of the golfers covered. We didn't take Wesley Bryan, and you can see how high his score is at recent form. So definitely want to have him involved in some way. And then there's other places where we can check out everything that is going on in the tournament. Start with our course section. So it's got all the course data that you'd like. And get a better sense of who's and with who and which pairing. So if you're somebody who values, playing against a great golfer and a good group, this is where you can find all the tee times when they get announced and the corresponding Vegas win percentage with the weather that's involved as well. So you can see at the Eagle Point Golf Club really only has 4 par 4s. It's a bit, par 5. It's a big par 4 course. I think par 4 scoring is going to be big. And so, he can head over to the player section to kind of see if we're missing out on any golfers. So we'll head to the par 4 scoring, who's been doing well in that department. You can see that 3.9 is sort of a pretty high mark for that. So let's just look at anybody who's had less than 4.0. Now we have 29 golfers here with strong par 4 scoring. Let's also look at players that can birdie. That's pretty important. And cuts made. So I don't want to cut anybody out too much this time, but at least 65% cut rate. And that brings our player pool to 16 golfers. And lastly, who's able to birdie? This is one of our custom stats that we have, average birdies per round. And so you definitely want somebody who is averaging at least 3.5 birdies per round. Just cut out a few more golfers. So that brings it down to 13 golfers. And we'll go ahead and favorite all of these guys and just see what the optimizer comes out with. And we can always change up our exposures from there. So you can see we're generating 20 lineups right now. I'll head back to the exposure section, and you can see that we've got like a nice distribution, but I want to bring down some of these golfers that are 100% just to make sure I have just a diverse group of players. So what I'll do here is first bring down any players. This is a kind of a tight group of golfers, not a large group. We want to first bring down any players that we don't like and with low to middle exposure. So Brian Harmon, let's bring him down to just 20%, just have like a sprinkle on him. Same thing with Stuart Sink, we'll bring him down to 30%. So once we do this, this will open up for room for other golfers. So some of the guys that we really wanted in here, let's bring in Laird, Kisner, bring Berger down to 50%. And I don't see either Rahm or Dustin Johnson, so let's just make sure that we get some of these guys in here, fitted in here somehow. Let's get DJ in for 20%. I really do like Rahm. I like to see him involved. Let's see how much we can fit him in. We got him in 40. Let's see if we can get him in 50%. All right, so we're able to do that. So basically, we're just trying to bring everything down a little bit. Kevin, bring him to 20. So I kind of essentially want to have a sprinkle of a bunch of golfers. I'm not as confident. I'm kind of going in a bigger approach. So now we've got our core being Rahm, Kisner, Laird, and then Brian. And then from there, we've got a lot of different golfers involved. Put in our 20 lineups. And we're ready to bring these over to DraftKings and FanDuel. Just select all, save all, and all of your golf lineups ready to go in DraftKings. So just download the file, head to My Lineups, and upload them via this CSV file. And if you need to make any replacements to those lineups, if somebody gets ruled out, maybe like Dustin Johnson hurts his back again, you can upload your file back into RotoQL and make any changes with our multi-lineup manager pro feature. Just drag that new file. You'll have to get it from DraftKings. You drag it over into the section here, and you can make any changes. So that's RotoQL Golf for the beginning of the Wells Fargo tournament, but we close up with weekend golf. So if you have any trouble with your lineups on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, DraftKings now has weekend golf, and we offer that for all different contests. So definitely check out RotoQL Golf on Friday night. We'll have all of the projections ready for you, and you can build lineups then.